mentioned realtors. I'm sorry, I'm buying a house right now, so I'm thinking realtors on
Those
my
are the
mind.
meetings that I'm in. I'm in those meetings all day.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. From the League of California Cities, let's get the right organization. They have a number of publications. We can provide some of those to the members of the Planning Commission, and we'd be happy to do that. We also have given presentations both at the council level and the Planning Commission on the Brown Act. So we're happy to provide some of those resources to you, Commissioner Conley.
Thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to now do some other concluding comments, not necessarily the end, but just to build off of already the preparation that Chair Chavez did. I'd like to note that whatever memo you receive from me, I have some tentative amendments to 9 of the sections, about 50 proposals. No, some I would really like, some are just to throw out there. So just prepare yourself a little for the next meeting. And we might like to also have at the beginning of the meeting to possibly have an end time, because I could foresee it going way into the future. I've used the preparation for the bylaws committee as a good procrastination tool for my other household duties. So I'm very excited in regards to using some of my experience on the National Association of Parliamentarians with this. And I definitely invite both of you in regards to your respective organizations within and outside of the city of Oxnard, because I believe that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. And with that, I've already looked at obviously my previous employment at a city in Wisconsin and also other cities within the county and outside of the county, just to give me a little perspective of what can be done. Obviously, these are just proposals until it's actually fully approved by the Planning Commission. And with that, I also have about 8 sections that I might like to add. And obviously that's all up for vote within the subcommittee and the full Planning Commission. So is there any other discussion at this time? Seeing none, I'd like to, Commissioner Connolly.
There was both of us, Chair Chavez.
I'm sorry, apologies, Chair Chavez.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a couple of comments that yes, through my preparation, I made changes to the format, the look of it, to be a little bit more official looking. I'm not aware of how many additions and subtractions and revisions I did. But I can definitely find out as I go through the thing. I can say that there are 14 rules, so 14 sections throughout the committee bylaws. And again, I do have that queued up if the committee wishes just to get a quick view of that. I can definitely share that, but I think reviewing them and, of course, submitting them to staff so that they can distribute that and that it's available to the public. I think it's important in reviewing them and providing our feedback at our next meeting will be very beneficial to our time and to staff's time as well, because it's not only us here, we also have staff, our IT, and then our regular staff that is constantly working with us. So those are my comments. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you. And I'd like to do the bylaws. So thank you for bringing that up. Commissioner Connolly.
I would just like to say that I think having either a set end time to end both meetings or just a respected time agreement would be respective to everyone as well. And sharing having all of us share our notes beforehand would make all of that run more smoothly and efficiently as well. So I agree. I think if we dedicate an hour to this every other week, like we should be in a good place. If it seems to not be enough, then we can amend it then, or by having a hard end time at whatever, 9 o'clock or 8:30, whatever you guys think for both meetings. I mean,
Thank you, Commissioner Connolly. My personal comments are that I tend to go with an end time of 9 p.m. I know that's a little bit later than your proposals. Obviously, I'm up for a 1 hour or 2 hour, and then obviously with at least 2/3 of us, we can obviously move the end time later. And so I am agnostic on which motion that I'd like to propose. We could always wait until the next meeting also to make that motion. Yes, Chair Chavez.
I would just say that setting a hard time is difficult. Mind you that our subcommittee meets right after our regular agenda. And yes, tonight's agenda was short, but we've all experienced some larger agendas that go past 8 o'clock. So setting a hard time, I kind of like the way that Commissioner Connolly was saying, just dedicate an hour. And if we need to, we can always expand that hour timeframe. But keeping in mind, I don't recall, and I might have to look to Mr. Roselle on this, is that the city council has a hard end time. I believe theirs is 10:30 or 11 o'clock. I don't recall if the planning commission has a hard end time as well. But that is something to look at. I would just recommend that keeping in line with Commissioner Connolly, that we just dedicate an hour. And if we feel that we need more time, that we do so at the appropriate time. Hard times are a little difficult, especially since we're following the regular meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Chavez. I don't know if Mr. Roselle would like to make any points in regard to his legal perspective. I do know that the Planning Commission does have a hard stop at 11, subject to a 2/3 vote to extend, but I'd like to have your opinion also.
Yes, under the existing rules, there is a requirement to adjourn by 11 p.m. Unless extended. It is up to the subcommittee's decision if you would like to either set a certain period of time for the committee meeting, or if you want to set a 8:30, 9, 10, 11 time period. It's truly up to the subcommittee to make that determination.
Thank you, Mr. Roselle. Yes, Commissioner Connolly.
I have a motion that I think would be a good compromise. I move to dedicate an hour to the subcommittee, not to exceed the 11 p.m. deadline that we already have, or end time that we already have established.
Commissioner Conley and members of the subcommittee, if staff could jump in here really quick. The bylaws that currently are written for the whole of the Planning Commission extend to the subcommittee as well, is what we would say. So currently the subcommittee, currently the bylaws already read, it can go to 11 and be extended by the 2/3 vote. So if that's simply what you wish to follow, we don't see any need to actually make any sort of motion. You're just following what's already in place.
Okay. I didn't want to say, let's take an hour and then at 10:30, we would have committed to another hour. You know what I'm saying? If our planning commission meeting went till 10:30, then we would have committed to an additional hour of work.
At the 11-hour mark, essentially, that's when the the subcommittee would be able to say, fellow subcommittee members, we've hit the 11 o'clock, and do we want to extend it any further at this point in time? And it would be a simple motion with a 2/3 vote to extend it for whatever length of time. So it's essentially something that can be done on the fly, given whatever is before the subcommittee members at a given meeting.
Okay.
Thank you, staff. Given those comments and recommendation, we will let the motion fall to the floor unless I hear a motion for a more restrictive time length or end time. Okay, thank you very much. Like was commented, we can always amend or make a motion at our next subcommittee meeting. I'd like to say that I am looking forward to discussing the rules and procedures for the Planning Commission with my fellow subcommittee members over these next couple of months, as was noted by the staff. If you could please churn in any memos, documents, amendments, proposals in whatever way you see fit that will help the committee. I have a format that I'm used to, but please do it in a format that you're used to and that you can speak to. I think that will be best as we go into these, I assume, maximum 3 meetings until July 15. Are there any other comments from my fellow subcommittee members? Yes, Chair Chavez.
I'm confused, Vice Chair. You said July 15th. I thought we were reporting out in August.
Yes, so please correct me, staff, if I'm wrong. I assume that July 15 will be our likely last meeting in time to report out to the August 5 Planning Commission meeting. So that's my reason for that date. I'd like to say that in the full Planning Commission meeting, any one of us or any of the 7 could propose us to amend a previously made motion to extend that date. But at that point, we're not at that time, and we can see where we are by the July meeting.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And Vice Chair Weho, that is correct. The dates that you've picked, the Planning Commission meets on the 1st and 3rd Thursdays of the month, which would mean that July 15th would be your second meeting, which is the equivalent to the 3rd Thursday of July. And then the next meeting after that would be August 5th, which is when we're anticipated to report out to the full Planning Commission. At any point in time prior to August 5th, it is possible for the subcommittee to report back to the full Planning Commission and to say, it's taking us longer than we thought, and we would like to extend that. So we will be flexible moving forward as far as the dialogue.
Mr. Kolwitz, just a quick comment in regards to that. I know the City Council goes dark in August. Planning Commission doesn't do that, right? We are separate from them in that sense, correct?
The Planning Commission continues very doggedly to engage in a public dialogue throughout the entire year.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Yes, thank you very much for that question and clarification, staff. Is there any further discussion before I head into the adjournment from either my fellow subcommittee members or staff? Hearing none, if there is no objection to adjourning this subcommittee meeting, we are adjourned until June 17, immediately following the close of the Planning Commission meeting. Thank you all. On a personal note, wow, that's my first time chairing a meeting. So thank you for making it easy this time for me. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.